In this video we're going to start to put this V8 together. I'm not going to show you how I'm going to do it because there's just not enough space to do filming. Good morning. I'm going to start to put this V8 back together again today. I just wanted to show you something. You can see how nice and clean this valley is. So obviously the engine's been replaced, but this is what I was saying yesterday. Look at the rockers. They're all filthy. So the heads in the block have been changed at some point. Anyway, that's not a problem. But what is a problem is these things here. This is the secondary air injection. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. These bits here, they're bolted on here onto the head, but the problem is, like this one here, I think it's the unit itself is all turning. I need to take those out, both sides, to get the rocker covers on, because we have to really bend them out the way, which is not a good thing. Also, I've been asked to change the spark plugs in this, which is really difficult to get at. So I might as well do that. I'm changing the coil pack as well. That's over there. That sits right at the very back. Yeah, not a fun item. And of course, the spanner size for that is like something bizarre. What size is it? Yeah, 27mm, that's the only key I've got. Talking about spanners, when I was down at JP's the other day, I borrowed an 1 7/16 spanner from him to get the fan off. So that's given us a lot more access, so now we can pull that pulley, this block down here, this thing here, get it out the way without dropping it through the radiator. Also, when you're doing jobs like this, go around and check everything. Pulley, not good. We'll change that pulley. I think it looks about the same as a TDI with the 6203 bearing in it, so that's not too bad. We'll do that. So we've got quite a bit to do. I'm not going to film it all because, as you can see, we're sort of restricted for space. Like if I lean over here, I can't even just to say touch the bulkhead. It's just everything's so far back and you can't get to it because of the bulb bar. Yeah, looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it? So today, I hope to commence and get all this valley gasket done. Plugs, coil pack, put the manifold on. I may start to bolt the front on, I'm not sure. Injectors are going to be a problem. I'm suggested to the owner to get a set of reconditioned injectors for $199. I mean, they're all tested and balanced, so there shouldn't be a problem. Wow. So just a little bit of an update. I actually managed to get these off. What a pig of a job. They're a fine thread, and there's no real taper fitting in there. It's just goes onto a flat surface, but they are tight. So how did I get them off? Well, I tightened them up even more than they should have been, so the little tube inside the head wasn't turning. I beat the bejesus out of it with needle gun to get some vibration, and that in turn will sort of try and get the penetrating oil around. Warm them up, get them nice and warm, and then beat the bejesus again out of them, and then they'll come off. So that's not too bad, is it? It only took me an hour and a half. Now, next thing, I'm going to change the spark plugs, and let this be a warning. These spark plugs are champions. Now, it's not going to be very clear, but these are supposed to be gapped at 40,000ths of an inch, or 1mm, thereabouts. This came straight out the box. So even though they say they're pre-gapped, check them. Always check them. Don't take it for granted, like just take them out the box and put them in. Also, a little bit of thread guard on the thread seeing they're going into aluminium heads. Now, and I now should have reasonable access. I'm not going to say good access, I should have reasonable access to get through, and especially at this side. This side's a bit tight, but we'll manage. So that's what we're up to next, spark plugs. Right, this is an update on the old plugs in case anybody's interested. This is the front of the engine. You can see these have been lean, very lean, but these at the back, they're the right colour. So has this been drawing air in from somewhere else? I do not know. Anyway, one thing I want to mention is that little socket there, that little with a universal joint on, absolutely perfect for doing Rover V8s. It's just the right size, because these are the smaller plugs here, these ones here, these are smaller, but that is a perfect thing. Really, really helped. Right, the next thing we're going to do on this tragical misery tour is change the coil packs, because now's the time to do it while the manifold's off and things. And also they've provided me with some new HT leads, which is perhaps a good idea. These are Eurospare XP, and they have got numbers on them, so that's going to make it really easy, because the last thing you want to do on a V8 is pull all the wires off and then you wonder which ones go where. So first of all, I'm going to spin off the coil packs and put them, no, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll change the wires first, because there's number 7 and we just had a number 7. So I'm going to put number 7 here. Oh, that's it. Where the hell did they go? There you go. Now, seeing they're pretty tight, you don't want to be doing this job at the back of the engine. Crazy place. Right, let me get on with that. So this is mid-afternoon. I've got everything sort of bolted back together again. I think one of my problems, well, apart from the injectors which we were waiting for, I might have to pull the car out of the way, but I think one of the problems I had was fighting against these things here, you know, to do the spark plugs and to get the rockers off, because I had to get the rockers off to get the manifold off, and I was trying to pull these back, and I had an awful job trying to get these off. Anyway, they're easy. We'll put some, when we put these together, we'll put some thread guard in there so they don't rust up again. I've got the coil pack here ready to go on. I see there's actually 4 mountings, and I seem to remember when I took this off there was no mountings at all, it was just thrown in the back. So anyway, that's what we're stuck with at the moment. However,